Hello everyone, I'm Tom Trinh, Senior Application Engineer for Valent Corporation. Today I will illustrate how to set up Parker PSD drive with CODESYS program to control the motor using an external encoder. So the demo here basically showing this is external encoder. As I rotate it for one revolution, I program in such a way when it's every time it rotates one revolution on the external encoder here, the motor will move for revolution. Okay, so having said that, let's do it. So you see the marker here. See, so it just as soon as finish one rev, it will execute the Parker motor to move for revolution. And I'll show you how to do it. This is very cool application that you can do with CODESYS. The beauty on this is that because the drive itself support CODESYS programming, IEC 61131-3. And so it has all the program capability, such as ladder program, CFC, structured text, as you see on this side here. But anyway, let me go through the connection real quick on the PSD that I have here. Okay, so I'm going to scan up here so you can see the green connector on this side is basically the power to the drive, and the drive can be power 120, 110, 230 VAC, even up to 480 VAC, depend upon the drive and so forth. What I have is a single drive. We also have a multi-axis drive, which I'll touch on that later. So what you see here also is the Ethernet connector, J45. So that's how I program it using the CODESYS as well as PSD servo manager to set up parameters and commission it. What you see down here is another Ethernet, actually EtherCAT cable. So the drive itself can be set up for a standalone drive that acting as an adapter, a node to an EtherCAT network, or Profinet or Ethernet IP. So those are the three field network available on this drive. This drive is very flexible and very powerful. So that's what the connection here. Now, what I have here is basically a power, 24-volt power to power the control. This connector is the external to connect to my external encoder here. This connector is for connecting to the motor itself. As you can see, I'm going to scan down here. So this is power and encoder cable on here, connect to the motor. But up here, this cable is encoder, and on this side, the green connector is for the power to the motor. This one, there are some more safety stuff that needs to be satisfied. That's I'm jumping it up here right now. That's this green connector. Okay, so that's the setup I have. All right, now I'm gonna do it again so you can see that this works beautiful, and I cannot move as fast on the external encoder here, but this is a very, very good application where you need to use external encoder and control the Parker motor application. Okay, having said that, what you see on this side is basically the CODESYS programming. Right now, I'm programming in the structured text. By the way, take a look at this encoder feedback here. So what I set up is basically if the encoder counts equate to 4,000, then I execute the move to move the motor. So watch this one here as I rotate this. Okay. So it's coming, it's 12 something, 2,000 something. As soon as reach here, that means so it's coming up 36, 37, boom. And the mode and execute the motion to move the motor. So how do we do that? Again, this is instructor text. I'm not going to go into details of this, but basically it has a 3 different case statement here in case of. But the key on this is you can see I have it on this side. I'm going to rotate it so you can see. Right here. So when the current encoder equate to 4,000, which is one revolution here on the encoder, it will execute the move. All right. And once I finish the move, I zero it. So I know I'm done with one. And this is where it execute the move axis here. Okay. Now, how does that work? So under move axis, that's where you specify the acceleration, the acceleration, the velocity, the distance. I have on here 32,000. That means 4 revolution because each revolution on the motor is 8,000 poles. And then here's some more logic. When it's done, then, I put it, the flag as false and go to state number 2. But moving along here, this is PLCopen motion, okay, for motion. So you can see enable means enable the servo. So these are what you set up in structure text. In ladder, it's similar to that. It's available as well in structure. In ladder as well. And under move relative, this is what we did. We set up the axis. This is what you set up for the move relative in PLCopen motion. So that's basically the structured text. As I mentioned before, this is CODESYS, so it supports also ladder program, CFC as well. So that's how you set it up. Now, by the way, this is free software. And then the next thing is I'm going to show you the PSD Servo Manager. So basically what Servo Manager is a piece of utility that allows you to configure the drive. You only need this at the beginning when you set it up. So as you can see, this tells you what voltage it is. It's 200 VAC, 8,000 poles, rev. And here the PO, so the drive itself can be set up, as I mentioned before, with CODESYS. So it can run a program inside here, as I shown you earlier, or it can set up as just the drive. It can be EtherCAT drive, Ethernet IP, or Profinet drive. Okay, there's some more stuff here, but I'm not gonna go over it. But at least you know this is what's for. I'll show you this I/O board card. This I/O device I/O board is where you would set up your encoder. So if you look at the encoder config, this is where you set up the encoder input and what type of encoder. And so that's where you set up here. Okay. The servo manager, besides just allowing you to configure the drive, you can upload and download parameters. You can do a lot of stuff with this. You can do the scope as well. You can set up your Ethernet IP, how much word that you want to get. And you set up the homing mode and all that. You also can go to optimization, and this basically allows you to test the drive and the mode itself, make sure everything is working before you connect to your master control, like a Allen Bradley or Siemens or Mitsubishi, any PLC manufacturer that support EtherCAT, Profinet, and Ethernet IP. Okay, I'm not going to do it, but basically, if you want to commission it and just to test it out, you click this button here, turn it on, and then activate the setup mode, and then you can go in here, do some minimal setup. Make sure that you can jog, you can auto tune if needed here as well. So that's basically what the PSD Servo Manager. Okay, I'm going to go back to the CODESYS here real quick. And let's see what else I want to show you. I already show you this. There's also visualization in the CODESYS that basically allows you to set up the HMI, and you can actually set up all your HMI like stop button, current position, and so forth. So this piece of software basically allows you to do all of them. Now, as far as the PSD itself, so as you can see here, these are different field network that the Parker PSD servo drive support, and it has PLC open motion control. Real quickly, I want to show you what the drive is capable of. So there's two form factors for PSD. You have a single axis and you have multi-axis drive. The single axis support 100 to 24 VAC. It can handle up to 7.5 amp continuous. The multi-axis share the power supply. The voltage can be 230 to 480 VAC, and it can be up to 30 amp continuous. So if you need a high power servo motor with high amp, we can do that. So this is the PSD1S standalone drive. It can handle up to 7.5 continuous and 20 amp peak. And then let's go to the next one, which is the multi-axis. So here's a multi-axis power supply. The nice thing about this is when you have a multiple axis drive, one power supply here can handle up to 7. We have an example here. But before we go to the example, I want to show you this. Basically, here's a power that the PSD power can handle, and also the drive. The single axis can handle up to 30 amp. And then there's a double axis. So you can have a 2 amp and a 2 amp drive, or 5 amp, or with another 5 amp drive, or 8 amp and another 8 amp drive. Or triple axis, 2 amp for each drive, or 8 amps plus 5 amp plus 5 amp. So it gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to multi-axis drive or application. So here's an example that show up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 axes, right? So basically all you need is the power supply, a single drive, 2 of them, these 2, and then one double axis drive and one triple axis drive that gives you all 7 axis motion application. So that's how you set up the Parker PSD drive with CODESYS software, also using the Parker PSD Servo Manager to set up the drive. The software is free, and you can download it to the website, or you can call us and we can set you up with the link so you can download them. If you have any questions, please call the number below, and thank you for watching.